today I decided for my video I'm going to make a pie. I've actually looked at this recipe quite a bit. I've never made it before, so I'm actually kind of curious how it turns out, and also if my kids are going to notice that anything's different. So I'm going to make a mock apple pie. Alright, I don't know if you've ever heard of this before. I haven't done too much research on it, but I do know that this has been made for quite a while. I believe it was after World War I, World War II, where things were rationed and, you know, a lot of things weren't readily available. So mamas in the kitchen had to get creative, and they came up with this recipe, and it's just been being passed on and passed on. So the ingredients are very simple, and from what I've heard, when you try it, for some reason it tastes just like apple pie. I don't know, because there's absolutely nothing in these ingredients that even resembles, I mean, you know, that would resemble apple pie. So I'm really curious to give this a try, and so I figured I would film it and let you guys tag along. Alright folks, so here are the very simple ingredients. Alright, so what we need is the recipe that I'm using. I will link it down below. Calls for 30 butter crackers or 30 Ritz crackers. Now I counted up each one of these packages. This has 14, this has 15 crackers. For some reason I thought these little single servings ones all had the same amount of crackers in them, but they don't. Anyways, so I would count them if you're going to use the little packs. So I have 29 crackers. That's plenty. We need cinnamon. We need cream of tartar. 2 cups of water. This was 3/4 cup of sugar, and it calls for a tablespoon of lemon. I do not have a lemon on hand, so I'm substituting with a tablespoon of plain old white vinegar. I'm sure that I will get the same reaction that the lemon juice would give, but guess what? We'll find out. Now, this pie that I'm making, it's not a 2 pie crust, it's a 1 pie crust, and then there's a crumble topping. So the crumble topping is just going to be crushed up Ritz crackers. It says about a cup, half a cup of brown sugar, and some margarine. Basic streusel crumb topping. So I'm going to start getting everything together and see how this turns out. Now I also made a pie crust yesterday, and I have one in the fridge waiting for me, so I'm gonna go grab our pie crust out of the fridge. I'm gonna set that here for a second, because what we're gonna need to do is we're gonna need to take our water, our sugar, we're gonna bring it up to a boil, and then once we do that, we're gonna add our cinnamon, cream of tartar, and our vinegar. We're gonna boil that up for 5 more minutes, and then we're gonna pour it over our crackers. So let's get to cooking. this boil for 5 minutes. I took my mixture off of the heat. We've let it boil for 5 minutes, and now we're going to add the vinegar in once it is off the heat, and now we're going to let it cool for about 10 to 15 minutes, it said. It didn't give a specific temperature to cool it to, but I'm just assuming, you know, so that it's not scorching hot and end up giving you soggy bottom pie crust. All right. So we're going to let this sit here and cool for 10 to 15 minutes. And I have my Ritz crackers all lined up. Now, I've seen some videos. Some people crush up the Ritz crackers. Some people just throw them in there. I lined them up like this because what I'm hoping is that when the pie is done and you go to slice it, it's going to look similar to like layered apples. You know what I mean? So I set them in like this, kind of stacked, you know, staggered neatly on top of each other, so that I'm hoping it'll give it more of that apple pie effect. So our mixture is cool. So now we're going to pour it over our crackers. And Big Mama's going to try to do this with one hand. Boom. Alright, so now let's pat these down and let them start getting all nice and soaky, 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 soaky. Okay, get that there. I want to make sure that every cracker is wet. This mixture is very, very liquidy. Very liquidy. All right. Now we're going to sprinkle our crumb topping all over the top. Make sure we get it nice and covered. Nice and covered. All right, so we're going to put it in the oven at 400 degrees for the first 15 minutes. All right, and then after the 15 minutes is up, we're going to lower it down to 350 for another 20 minutes. All right, kiddos, so my pie is out of the oven. Look at that. I'm trying to get some good light here to show you. All right, we got a nice flaky crust, and look at, no jiggles. It is all set in the middle. You can even see some of the juices that kind of bubbled up, and it does look like apple pie. It actually, well, it looks like an apple brown Betty. So I'm very curious, very, very curious as to how this is going to taste. So I'm going to let this cool down, and we're going to slice this up after dinner, and I'll let you know if the kiddos know the difference. All right, folks, so it is many hours later. Dinner is done, and now it's time to cut the pie. I am really, really curious as to what this looks like. I'm going to have to use 2 hands for see if we'll come out now. Whoa, okay, now look at that. Look at that. It looks like apples. Let's see if we can get it to focus. Will you focus for me? All right, that, it's got a nice layered look. See that? All right. So we're gonna put this down on our fancy plate. Look at that, I even went fancy with it. All right, we even got some whipped topping because what's apple pie without whipped topping? Right? All right, let's get a little spoon and we're gonna put a little dollop on here. All right, now let's see who we're gonna find to try it first. All right, so everybody's got their piece of pie, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So go ahead and try it, and I want honest opinions. All right, real life people, real life. All right. Molly,
Okay.
is it good? All you ate was the Cool Whip. Can you try the actual pie?
I tried apple pie.
All right, is it good? You like Mama's apple pie? All right. Bailey, we'll come back to you. Mickey.
Yeah.
All right, so obviously I put giggle juice in my pie.
Apple pie. And bone.
All right, so is it good, Molly?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mickey?
Yeah.
Is it good? Is it better than my apple pie before or the same?
I feel like it's the same.
Is it the same?
Yeah.
So it's not better or worse than my apple pie? All right, Bailey?
I like your.
Will you stop eating the Cool Whip and actually eat the pie?
I like your apple dumpling better. Oh,
Okay.
What that?
All right. But this particular pie, compared to my other apple pies, is it good, better, or the same?
The same.
The same.
The same.
Would you be surprised to know?
It's the same recipe.
No.
It's canned.
No.
There's hummus in it. You bought
No. You're getting closer.
it. You bought it.
No, I didn't buy it.
There's fake apples.
There's no apples in it.
What? I can tell.
All right, Miss Know-It-All, then what is it?
I don't know.
It's asparagus.
I know what it is.
What?
Chocolate milk.
Chocolate milk. There you go.
Those look, they don't look like apples.
Yeah, they do look like apples.
Actually, they look like, they're kind of like chewier than apples.
Is it chewier than an apple?
They're like the same texture. You forgot to ask me.
Molly, one moment. Okay, so Bailey, you're giving me honest feedback here, and this is what I'm looking for. All right, so you said that it's chewier than apple pie, than my regular apple pie. All right, so now the honesty's coming out. So Bailey, can you guess what the secret ingredient is?
Asparagus? Your black bean.
No, it's not my black beans chocolate cake. No. All right, Bailey. So, can you guess what the secret ingredient is?
It's a vegetable.
It's not a vegetable.
Tomatoes.
It's not a fruit.
It's aioli. It's a bean, isn't it?
No, it's not a
Is it
meat.
meat?
Is it like a
No,
paste?
it's not a
Is
meat.
it like a
Is it grapes?
Is it what?
A paste?
A paste?
Hold on.
No.
Let me try it. Is it oil?
No.
Billy, we're not eating oil.
At
Right.
least I'm giving guesses.
She said I
Because
don't
it doesn't look like an apple.
Actually, it does look like an apple. I will have to say, when I looked at it, it does look like an apple, like a baked, like cooked apples. Would you be surprised to know
Oh man, it's gonna be like rattlesnake.
that's the secret ingredient?
Ate the rat snake.
It's my fingernail.
My
Is
fingernail
Ritz
do a
crackers.
booty. I can tell.
No, you can't, because I asked you for the past 5 minutes, and you not once
Now
did you
that
say
you told
cracker.
me, it tastes like Molly chewed up crackers. It tastes like making chewed up crackers, then putting
There's
it on
Ritz
here.
crackers in the crumble also, but the actual middle of it is Ritz crackers.
Now that you say that,
It's called a mock apple pie.
Charlie in the chocolate factory, all they can afford is cabbage, so they're over here making cabbage soup, cabbage bread,
Cabbage water.
Cabbage water is good.
Literally, they say we're having cabbage water for tonight. Oh, and guess what?
Cabbage.
Oh, guess
is
what?
All right.
Genius Charlie goes ahead and blows all his money on one chocolate bar.
Get a hoya.
All right.
He got it.
So,
Get
would you,
Oreo.
if I made this again, would you guys eat it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
So,
want ice cream.
out of 2 thumbs up, would you give it like a 1, 1.5?
1.5.
Like a 1.5?
One and like.
10 and a half.
All right, that's not bad. At least it's not 2 thumbs down.
10 and a half.
All right, folks. So, I'm ending this video. My mock apple pie, I guess, was a kind of success. I think next time I just won't tell them. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I'd love for you to leave a comment down below of any recipes you'd like to see me try. And if you want to hit that subscribe button, that'd be awesome. I'm getting close to 100 subscribers. I'm actually pretty excited, so I'm thinking I might sit down and do a little Q&A about me type video. I know I haven't mentioned too much about my background, so thinking about putting one of those together. So if you have any questions that you want to ask me or anything, you know, that you're curious about, go ahead and leave it in the comments below and I'll try to answer it. All right, so until next time, kiddos. Bye.